Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM21 Perfect Manager. We're on episode 14. We've finished 3 seasons, and in those 3 seasons, we've had a first place, a second place, and now another first place performance. So we've had 2 promotions in just 3 years, and the club's history is just those 3 years, as it was a club made from scratch with literally no history and no reputation starting at that 1. Well, in those 3 seasons and with those 2 titles, we have now surpassed 25% of all of the clubs in England. There's the lower league clubs that are beyond those 10 levels. There's some of those that are here. And then that 10th tier, 9th tier, we've passed a lot of those up. So we are developing a reputation now, and that's a good thing. But of course, it's still very much obscure. We should theoretically now be able to recruit slightly better talent as we head into this next season. We're certainly going to need it if we're going to continue climbing the ladder, though, because that 9th tier, we essentially had the same squad that we had for the 10th tier. We were not recruiting anything better in those 2 seasons than what we had previously, and for the most part, it was largely the same 11. I mean, we lost a few, replaced a few, and then in the next season, lost a few, replaced a few, but ultimately, like in real life, we kind of brought in a squad, and then that's ultimately been that same squad with just that little bit of changeover. So unlike what I would typically see in this game level by level where you totally reshape the squad, we didn't have that happen. So we'll see if we are able to do a little more of that this season by bringing in some better talent and boosting the quality. Because honestly, as we had the same squad, it took us 2 seasons to get out of tier 9. That was very unexpected. If we're stuck with the same squad for tier 8, we're going to be in a little more trouble, I would think, it's a tier 10 squad. It's good for a tier 10 squad, but it's a tier 9 squad that we have put together right now. I don't know if they're going to be good enough to win tier 8. So here's to hoping we get some new players available to us for this upcoming season. With that, let's go ahead and take a look at the top of the league. This time we didn't really focus as we had a long final episode last time. Arsenal, 5-star reputation, really? Wow, what have they done? Was this the team that went and won? Only 6th place in the Premier League this last season, so that wasn't it. But I believe, there it is, the 2022 European Champions Cup. So Champions League winners in 2022 for Arsenal for the first time ever in their history. Really? Wow. Okay. First time they've ever won the Champions League. They were runners up in 2006, and that's been all they've managed to do. And then also, it's been since 2004, last time that they actually won the Premier League. 13-time winners, but it's been a while. 3rd place in 2021 is also the first time in a while. I mean, we're looking at 7 years since the last time they finished in any of those top 3 positions. And then finally, a rebound in 2021. But yeah, Arsenal, even in real life, just not quite the same team these days. A lot of people started pointing fingers at a long-time gaffer, more and more, and I thought they were foolish to do so. He was absolutely getting the best out of the squad that he had to work with on a tight budget. And now that he's retired, it's really showing. Same thing happened at Man United. And we kick off the season with virtually no change. No change at all. We have the entire same first 11 on the field. We didn't lose anyone. We didn't technically gain anyone, at least not for the first 11. We've picked up 2 players as that one bangs off the bar and just gets cleared out off the line. But then a block here gives Coppin a chance to run the other way. It's 2-on-2, 3-on-2. There's the extra ball. Oh, Dymek. Absolute chance to score a banger there and messes up. But here's Parsons. Can he get the opening goal? He does not. All right, well, here's the big difference because everything else is the same. We have the same staff. That was offside. Was he not offside by like 6-7 yards? Or did he just perfectly time that? No, he's offside by 6-7 yards. Okay, not by 6-7 yards, but clearly still off. He never got back onside. He was off by 6-7 yards. He retreats back. Wow, okay, from the other camera angle, it looked like an easy 2 yards offside. He was on. He was on. My bad. And we trail. That's the difference for this season. We go from winning the league to apparently there's enough of a gap from the division below to this division that we are now relegation favorites. With this squad, we're relegation favorites. We're at a higher level, can't attract any better players, and yet here we are as a team that's at this higher level and can't compete at it, but can't attract. Yeah, we're in a strange place. We're in a really strange place, folks. But let's try to get on with the program as Hansen saves that one. That was drilled, but it was Adam. And you can see we're struggling. I mean, it's 9-2 on the shots now. We've had 2 very golden opportunities, so we are going to get some goals. We're not just going to get slaughtered at this level, but we are very much not in control of this thing at all. I don't know if we even need to switch to cautious. We can't. Kazeni with the opening goal for the season, our all-time leading goal scorer, knocks that one in. Coppin. That slips over Dimek's head. I think everybody was focused on that near post ball and not at the penalty spot area. And there you go. It's 1-1 before halftime. We're still in it. But I think this is what our season is going to come down to. I'm hoping that we're good enough that we're not going to actually be facing a relegation battle. But that means maybe we're a mid-table kind of team. Or just above mid-table. I do think we're going to have our hands full this season. It's going to be a struggle at times. Second half. No changes to the side at the moment. Dimek intercepts. There's Davis. Like I said, it is the same first 11. The 2 signings we've had may or may not help. They'll certainly give us added depth below the first 11. And we do have a third one on the verge of signing. And we do have a new assistant manager on the verge of signing, hopefully. I'm surprised he hadn't already signed by now. It's been a week since we agreed to terms. So we'll see how that all plays out. But now that we're on past the hour mark, let's see what we can do about some subs. Reed's having a terrible day. Davis is having a terrible day, and that's the core of our squad. Okay, Harvell's a center back. Well, I guess it doesn't hurt. Let's give him a shot. Harvell's one of the new guys. We'll give him his introduction today. He might be better than Haynes. I'll have to take a little bit more of a look at those two, and Harvell could see himself into the lineup. 80th minute now. Chance to counterattack. Got those blue and black bodies everywhere. Oh, that was clean. That was 100% clean. That was 100% clean tackle. All ball, all the way. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No. No. That's at the edge of the box. Oh, I think we just give it away now that we're just collapsing under the pressure. But it was on the edge of the box, and it was a clean tackle, out for a throw-in. I mean, the way that ball moves, there's literally no chance that he got the man or went through the man to get that ball. Ball doesn't move that way. That was clean. That was as clean as that gets. You'll take that tackle all day long. But what a horrendous call that's going to cost us a terrible, terrible start to our season. Davis needs to be subbed off. He's at a 5.9. He might be our best player, but Cotterill with a chance to tie. can't get it. We've had chances in this game. Shot-wise, it's 22-4. But what we've done with the chances we've had have been good. Parsons, another chance, and does tie in stoppage with a minute to go. It should be for 3 points, though. It should be for 3 points. That's so ridiculous. We got so screwed today. But we salvage a point. Parsons with Coppin. Let's get Nicholson out there. They didn't want to give another penalty, apparently. Well, at least we got a point to start the season. That's something. Next thing, and this is a worrying one, the game did not use geography in determining the promotion sides, relegation sides, and reorganizing the leagues. And looking at things, we are literally playing on the exact opposite end of the country there than where we need to be or should be, and this is going to cost the team a ton of money when we already have some serious financial troubles. Let me get back into those financial troubles in just a second. Let's take a look at the league. I know quite a few of these teams. It's the English Northern Premier League Division 1 East, so North East. Now, that's not some mistaken, like, northern end of a peninsula type thing. It's the it's the Northeastern League. Let me prove it. Mickleover. We have Sheffield. We have Newcastle Town. Stowmarket. I know these teams. I've gone up against these teams before with my team from the Northwest in my previous series, who then moved up and then played these teams. We are from the southwestern tip of the nation. We're in Cornwall. We're not Newcastle upon Tynes, is that right? We're playing in the exact opposite end of the country, which means all of our road games are going to have increased travel cost. And that's half our season. Now, half the season everybody has travel to us, but that doesn't help us, the distance that they travel. In fact, that hurts us. How does that hurt us? Because a team with a good supporting is going to bring a lot of fans. They're not going to travel all the way to Cornwall in the 8th tier. They're going to send 5 fans where they would have sent 100. So we're going to lose 95 seats every match. So there goes another tick to our finances. Not just the travel cost for the road matches, but we're going to send fewer fans to those games, so we're going to have less support. They're going to send fewer fans to our games, so we're going to sell fewer tickets. And here's the financial trouble we face. You can see we've been in poor shape. We were definitely below. That first season was nice, and then all of a sudden we hit semi-pro, and then we broke into the red just barely, and then it got worse last season. And now we take a huge dip. One big nosedive, 120,000 earlier this summer, right out the gates. And here's where those 120,000 came from, what that was all about. I set this team up with a stadium that only had 250 permanent seats, but it technically had 4,000 standing room only seats. And the reason why I did that is when you reach the 6th tier, you must have a stadium with at least 4,000 seats. Minimum requirement. And so I took care of that in an offhand sort of way, where the stadium itself was minimalistic, but technically had what it needed for the 6th tier. so we wouldn't have to change stadiums or rent somebody else's stadium or something along those lines. Apparently that was why we were slowly dipping into the red, was we had way more stadium than we could afford. And so we were just slowly losing money, month on, month out. Overall, it wasn't much though. And I figured as we climbed into the higher divisions, we'd break even and start working our way up. And maybe even this season would have been a break even type season. But the club decided that was not okay. And so they're building a new stadium. They sold the old stadium and got some grant money and ended up coming out just $100,000 short. So the club fronted the other $100,000 to make it happen. It's going to be next summer when it's done. So we're still in the original stadium for now. We signed a 5-year ground sponsorship. So that was something that's going to help pay it off. There's our $120,000, or at least half of it anyway, covered in that deal. So they've already recovered a good chunk of that money, just long term, not short term. But we're due to move into a 1,400 capacity Gaffer FC stadium next summer. So we're going from a 4,000 capacity down to 1,400. I don't know if it's going to be an all-seater. I have no idea what we're going to end up with in that regards. We only had 250 seats, but it was 4,000 capacity. So the capacity is dropping to almost a quarter of what it was, or roughly a third of what it was. I'm hoping it's an all-seater as a result. Otherwise, we're really screwing ourselves on this one, because what happens in a handful of seasons when we hit 6th tier and we've got nothing? There's that 4,250 seated stadium that I made for the team. And I have a feeling it's not going to suddenly change our financial situation that much, but maybe it'll help. Couldn't hurt much. And of course, so far, because we've been in debt all this time and not had any money, we've only been able to make a single upgrade to anything in terms of facilities. So we're still in really, really poor shape there. We're struggling. We're struggling. We've climbed to the 8th tier through these 3 seasons, but thanks to the finances, even though we have this perfect manager, we're not making up ground really anywhere, and that's rough. That is rough. But we're hanging in there. So we've got a new season underway. We got 1 point. In terms of, let me see the league. There we go. Season preview. They have us picked to be right in the middle of that relegation battle. Newcastle is the only team picked below us, but we've already proved them wrong by should have won that opening game. I mean, that was on the road, and we shouldn't have lost that. That was so unfortunate that stupid penalty call with no one around, right on the edge of the box with what looked like a perfect tackle, couldn't have been cleaner. And then all of a sudden, they point to the spot. And even if you call a foul there, it looks like it should have been outside the box. They were outside the box. They weren't in. We were in and slid out, but whatever. Whatever. We survived. Sort of. 1 point so far. And we're in a tricky place. Osset United was promoted, and they're picked to go 5th. So either they've already been able to sign the players they needed, where we haven't. I don't know. I don't know what the case is, but they do not like us. And they think we're going down. Let's see if we can prove them wrong. Let's see if I can find some players, because so far I haven't found anything. That is going to do it for this episode, though. Just a quick introduction into the season. I've got a lot going on, and I'll see you back at the end of the week, hopefully, for another one. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.